You are watching Pemu TV, Buri Hamwe.
You carried will write her 15th book, because the one she will say, I am Samson Kasumba Muru, that also happened to be bald-headed, but I like to be honest. But whilst doing, and one of the things, Your Excellency, I have learned, we thank you for the President and to celebrate people that you have chosen to lead us, and in doing so to do a very difficult job.
Read like 1 or 2 pages, but please, I beg, just read the entire. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
It's deliberate that the most important here between the president's and there were women, there was nobody. But up as boys on this continent, we are told, don't walk like in Uganda, has deliberately. There is another woman, name familiar, Lady.
Your Excellency, the book is The Pathway to Greatness. To many, it may seem a sweet journey, as my sister said, but in it, if you take in interest, you realize the hurdles and hardships that Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga has gone through. Just like how honey is sweet when we say it, but you'll only realize how sweet it is when you taste it.
So, Your Excellency, this book is telling part of those stories and also the experiences I went through. I think as I close, I also want to say that I've made other contributions to, within the Commonwealth. During the COVID time, Your Excellency, it was a new thing. First of all, COVID was in China. No one expected it to reach Uganda. So when you locked down the country, none of us knew what to do. So I first picked up a call, talked to my counterpart in Nairobi, and asked Mr. Muturi, what are you going to do now that there's a lockdown? He said, I don't know. Then I called Job Dugai in Dar es Salaam. I said, Job, what are we going to do? He said, I also don't know what to do. So I called the commission, and I said, you people, we have a challenge. This is March. It's the month when we start the budget process, but we have been told to lock down. One of the commissioners said, let us close and go. Then others said, but what do we do now about the budget? So we debated and we could take a decision. So I said, okay, I'll take the final decision myself. So in the end, I said, no, we must find a way of fulfilling our obligations under the Constitution. So we then put the SOPs as we had been directed. We moved out of the chamber, went to the tent, made the spaces, and continued working. But also, it is through from this parliament here in Kampala that we started the virtual sittings throughout the Commonwealth. As far as the Bahamas, my friends wrote to me to find out, how are you managing this situation? So I said, we have a hybrid of physical sittings and the virtual sittings. So that's when it spread around the Commonwealth. So that's another of my contributions. There are many others, but for now, I think I'll stop there.
So I really want to congratulate people like Rebecca Kadaga, who responded to our reform. You can call it a reform. Because if they had not, our reform would have failed. Because the question was, why were the women not coming up through the other okumigana, Banyankore call it okumigana, the other stampede of everybody? Was it because they didn't want? Was it because what? Was it because what? But it seems, how do you answer that? Nakadam, how do you answer that? Why the women, daughter Wanyamugole, why don't the women come through the other stampede way with the women who came up and responded to our call. And Rebecca Kadaga was one of them, and I really congratulate her. And when she came, we supported her. She became deputy speaker for quite some time, then speaker, and she has been with us all this time. And I really thank her. And she has and what her friend, the lady from Kisoro, but who has now become American. I don't know how she became American, but she's from here, from Kisoro. What she said that Rebecca is a very committed person, committed to what she believes in, and a fighter. She's also a fighter, that is for sure. So that's how I exploit some of our people. I said recently, now you're a fighter, you go and fight for East African Federation. And she's there really fighting, you can be sure she's really fighting for the East African Federation. So, and she has contributed to her area, Kamuli and Busoga. She's always very active in those institutions of that area. So I congratulate her for putting her, I haven't read the book, but I'm sure it must be very interesting, putting down what she went through. And as she said, you had the challenges. When she's a minister, people don't believe that she's a minister. So those challenges being conveyed to the young people, to the young ladies, is very, very useful. I'm sure it will help them. So I congratulate her, and I congratulate her parents, because remember, we need to find out also how her parents came to send her to school. That should be very interesting also. I'm sure she talks about it in the book. Because I remember my sister, Dr. Kajuviri, when she went to school, my father didn't like the idea. School for what? And in her case, she was a girl, but she had also had polio in one leg, 1955. So my father was, you are mocking, okuganiza. She was telling my mother that she's mocking my sister. Naganiza, noganiza mushti wange. You are mocking her to be limping, going to study. What is she going to study there? She should stay here and look after my cows. That was her view. But now, she became a big scientist, a university academician, and so on. So therefore, those parents should also be, as she said, somebody quoted that. No, she's the one who said herself in her speech here, that some of our successes are due to our parents. She said it in her remarks. We need to salute those parents for that contribution. And also thank the people of Busoga and the people of Kamuli for supporting her all this time. I think she has been in Parliament all the time. Was there all the time you have been in Parliament? All this time. So I congratulate you. I congratulate the people of the women. The women. I congratulate the people of Kambuli, of Busoga, for supporting you. And I wish you good luck. Thank you very much.
I hope I will let you know when to play them. Mbuya asomye nnyo tafugika. waliwo n'abagamba wano mbu talina mpisa.
Webale kuleba BMTV buli hamwe.